going to be talking about and making fun of how the mighty fat people have been persecuted against on many an airlight flight.
Aren't you supposed to be one of the ones that are against making generalizations? Yet here you are making them about fat people. And as a fat person, I have never once been like these loudmouth other fat people. So just cut that out right now.
Recently, a Twitter account named Your Fat Friend had a trending moment about the persecution the mighty diabetic warriors face on airlines today in society.
Again, you're generalizing all fat people. Not all fat people have diabetes. I don't, for example.
Your Fat Friend starts off the thread saying, "I'm worried that hearing me ask for an extender will prompt others to complain. If they do, it starts a domino effect of trouble for me. Do you know how large you have to be in order to ask for a seatbelt extender? At a certain point, when you fly on an airplane, yes, your weight does matter. It does matter to the other passengers around you. These are people that pay hundreds of dollars to fly, and they really want at least some sort of comfort."
Oh, absolutely. At a certain point, a person's weight does start to affect others on a flight. But that doesn't give the other passengers permission to be colossal assholes, like I have seen people be on video towards fat people. That's their problem more than anything. Other passengers being colossal assholes. If they weren't assholes, it wouldn't be as big a deal. But have you ever been on a commercial flight? I mean, let's face it, they're not the most comfortable to begin with.
Your Fat Friend says, "Over the last 2 years, about 50% of passengers in my row complain about me, so my body is regularly discussing my presence without my input." You can always inject yourself into the conversation if they're talking about you. They're probably right what they're saying because, hey, you don't have a second seat, you didn't buy a second seat, or you're just obnoxiously overweight at that point on the airline.
As you just noted, they were probably very obese. That's why they caused the problem. But you were earlier generalizing all fat people. So, do you see my point? Not all fat people are so obese that they need 2 seats or cause that much discomfort among their fellow passengers. So, generalizing all fat people is harmful to a point.
As a very fat person on a plane, I am treated like luggage, a cumbersome, exasperated inconvenience, inanimate, and unfeeling. No, they definitely know you're feeling. Maybe they think you're selfish because you refuse to lose the weight. You don't care about the other passengers on the plane.
Maybe, just maybe, before you say something like that, you want to get to know the person and find out why they kept the weight on. It could be like me, growing up having 2 bad knees, and it hurts to exercise and do a lot. Could be metabolism. Could be all kinds of things. Could be that people find comfort in food from being harassed and bullied growing up when it's the most damaging. Look at Boogie 2988. Do you think he wants to keep the weight on when he's about to undergo gastric bypass surgery, something that could kill him? Learn about him, what he's gone through in his life, the reason that he gained the weight, and what he's done over the years to try and lose it to now, and then tell me he wants to keep the weight on.
If you were coming in there 400, 500 pounds, even 600, weighing around that gargantuan amount of weight, and you're flying on an airplane, and you're not expecting people to be a little exasperated, a little feeling like you're a little bit of an inconvenience, then you're delusioned. You're delusional.
Again, they can feel however the hell they want, but it still doesn't excuse them from being an asshole.
No one likes flying. It's not comfortable for anyone, but for some of us, it's a major physical, financial, and emotional risk. It's definitely physical for the people that have to sit next to you because you are literally encroaching on their space for something that you can control.
Oh my god, you dense mother.
Well, I'll ignore the childish insults you were hurling, but again, not every fat person can control the fact that they can't lose weight. What part of that do you not get?
Literally, you can control. I can control I'm getting to the point where, hey, I probably need to do the exact same thing. But I'm not 400 pounds plus trying to fly on a plane. If anything, I would just like to do it for my self-satisfaction. At this point, I'm not inconveniencing anyone.
Big shocker here. When I was over 400 pounds, I didn't inconvenience anyone either. I also wasn't a colossal ass.
Yes, there's a problem when you're just calling people fat and you're just getting mad if you're just like screaming at them to lose weight if they're trying.
And how do you know the fat person in your hypothetical isn't trying to lose weight at that present time? For the record, this is a sarcastic statement.
If they're actually in the gym, if someone's in the gym actually working out, please don't call them a fat ass or anything like that. Please don't scream at them. Like, that's kind of a dick move. But if they're not doing anything to fix it, if they're just if they're literally trying to eat the first class meal on their flight, maybe there's a problem there.
Well, hey, maybe that person on that flight that wants to eat that first class meal, maybe they've been on a diet and have been restricting the amount they eat, and they haven't eaten that day, so they need to eat something. Crazy that things like that might actually happen. You ever think of that?
This is about airline policies and about what happens when others decide to make an issue of my body. It's definitely an issue when your body encroaches on my space and it becomes my issue then.
You can just say something, but be polite about it. You don't have to be a confrontational dick.
Maybe it's alright for you to feel humiliated and alone. Because you're so selfish, you don't even care about the other person's feeling. And in this entire thread, she doesn't talk about once what her body weight does to other people, how they feel.
For the third time, you're assuming she can control whether she loses the weight or not. You don't know that for a fact. And now you're assuming she's also a psychic and supposed to know how other people are feeling and how her weight makes them feel? Get it together. She's human. She can't read minds.
She only cares about me. When that me feeling should be caring about her weight and how she can reduce it.
Now you see, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt that you weren't a colossal asshole. But you're not helping your case with this one. Because for all you know, she could have been going to see a doctor to help her lose weight. But you don't know that because you don't know anything about her. You just assume. You never make assumptions. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself at the beginning of this statement, but you get my point.
The flight attendant didn't speak to me but gave free food and drinks to others in my row, rewards for tolerating my presence.
I'm just going to say she's assuming that that's what the food was for, but in all honesty, they probably asked for it. That's kind of how that works. When I record videos, there are times I'll stop and think to myself, does this sound childish or immature? And if it does, are there ways I could reword it so that it doesn't sound like that? Because that's not what I want to portray. Because that's not who I am. He, on the other hand, published a video sounding very immature and childish with the name calling and the insults. I mean, I'm not perfect either, but his is just straight up childish. Makes you wonder about what the type of person he is. He kind of reminded me of Leafy Is Here, and not in a good way.